Sister wives. Janelle Brown reconsiders her split from Kody Brown. 2 years after walking away from her spiritual marriage to Kody Brown, Sister Wives star Janelle Brown is taking a moment to reflect. The two were spiritually married in 1993, making Janelle Kody's second wife and an integral part of the Brown family's early story. Together, they raised 6 children and weathered many storms. So what is making Janelle rethink her decision to fully move on? Here's the latest. Janelle Brown's journey, from in-law to wife. Before joining the Brown family, Janelle was married to Adam Barber, who happened to be Mary Brown's brother. After that marriage ended, Janelle found herself drawn to the idea of plural marriage and eventually to Kody. Their spiritual union in 1993 marked the beginning of a new chapter for both of them. Over the years, Janelle carved out a life focused on her children, her career, and her role within the unique family structure. However, as the family grew larger and more complicated, cracks started to appear, cracks that the pandemic ultimately deepened. When faced with difficult choices during that challenging time, Janelle stood firmly by her children. Her decision created a divide between her and Kody that grew wider over time. Life after separation, new paths, new questions. Following their separation, Janelle purchased an RV and moved it onto the family's Coyote Pass property, hoping to build a new life for herself. Yet Kody distanced himself, declining to stay with her, and according to Janelle, even reducing visits with their youngest daughter, Savannah. Eventually, Janelle found peace in her decision to step away. Kody later expressed a desire to reconcile, mentioning that it was mainly for the sake of their children. Janelle, however, had already moved forward emotionally. She left Flagstaff and relocated to North Carolina, ready for a fresh start. There was some talk of her pursuing a church release, similar to what Mary Brown had done after her own departure, but Janelle didn't prioritize it. The family had not been active in their religious community for some time, and in her mind, the spiritual union had already ended. It didn't even occur to me because I'm really not part of that church anymore, Janelle explained. And then when Mary got one, I'm like, huh. Speaking with Mary helped Janelle realize something important. I'm not dating, but if I found somebody, I would never want there to be like a weird barrier in my head. I've been married for 30 years, and it had validity for me. I don't have to live plural marriage again. I don't know if I'll ever even marry again. But I've kept my faith. All of it's intact, except for that whole plural marriage thing. I don't know about that. A spiritual release, new possibilities. On the upcoming April 27th episode of Sister Wives, Janelle meets with Mary to talk through the idea of obtaining a formal spiritual release. Though Janelle has long considered herself simply single, she's beginning to realize that an official step might help her fully embrace her next chapter, especially if love finds her again. So just so that I'm sure I'm good, if I were to remarry, maybe it's worth getting a spiritual divorce. She wonders aloud to Mary. Mary, having gone through the process herself, offers to accompany Janelle if she chooses to move forward. Whether Janelle will go through with it remains to be seen, but the conversation marks a pivotal point in her journey. Kody's perspective and fan reactions. Meanwhile, Kody has offered his own view of their split in recent episodes. He suggested that Janelle only saw him in a physical way, a comment that sparked reactions across the Sister Wives fan community. One viewer wrote, "Oh yeah, she wanted him so much that she left Flagstaff like a thief in the night. I hope Janelle has nothing but success and happiness from here out." Another added, "This guy is a complete joke, and the best thing to come from him are his children. I'm so glad the 3 women found the strength to move forward." Many longtime fans of the show have been cheering Janelle on, eager to see her find true happiness. with or without a new relationship. A new future ahead. Whether or not she decides to formalize her spiritual separation, one thing is certain: Janelle Brown is reclaiming her story. She's stepping forward with hope, resilience, and a clear sense of who she is outside of the shadows of her past. Time will tell what's next for Janelle, but if her journey so far has taught us anything, it's that she has the strength to thrive no matter where life takes her. What do you think Janelle should do? Catch all the emotional moments on Sister Wives, airing Sundays on TLC. Janelle Brown questions her divorce from Kody Brown, a journey of heart and healing. 2 years after walking away from her spiritual marriage to Kody Brown, Sister Wives star Janelle Brown finds herself standing at an emotional crossroads she never expected to reach. After decades of building a life within a complicated family dynamic, she thought her chapter with Kody had closed for good. Yet, as life shifted and new conversations unfolded, a question began to stir within her heart. Had she truly closed the door on Kody? Or was there still unfinished business lingering in the spaces between them? A love once rooted in hope. When Janelle first joined the Brown family in 1993, it wasn't just about love. It was about hope. Hope for a community, for unity, and for a future built on shared faith and mutual respect. Having previously been married to Adam Barber, Mary Brown's brother, Janelle's entrance into plural marriage was unconventional but intentional. She believed in the vision Kody painted of a family that would weather the storms of life together. And for many years they did. Together, Janelle and Kody welcomed 6 children into the world, a bustling home full of laughter, challenges, and growth. Janelle was known for her steady strength, her practical mind, and her fierce loyalty to her children. Even when the family dynamic became strained under the pressure of multiple marriages, financial struggles, and relocation after relocation, Janelle remained a pillar. But even the strongest pillars can crack. The breaking point. The pandemic changed everything. Health precautions forced distance between family members, and cracks in communication became impossible to ignore. Janelle, always a mother first, prioritized the well-being of her children, a decision that widened the gap between her and Kody. Their values, once seemingly aligned, began to drift apart. Kody's increasing frustrations and his struggle to maintain relationships with all his children created emotional wounds that never fully healed. When Janelle chose to live in an RV on Coyote Pass, dreaming of building a home and future for herself, Kody's absence was louder than any words he could have spoken. He didn't stay with her. He didn't visit as often as he once had. The message was clear. Their paths were no longer entwined. By late 2022, Janelle was not just separated from Kody. She was free. Or so she thought. A new life, with lingering questions. After their split, Janelle embraced independence with a quiet grace. She moved to North Carolina, finding peace among new surroundings, and continued to nurture her relationship with her children and grandchildren. While Kody had expressed a desire to reconcile, mainly, he claimed, for the sake of their children, Janelle had remained steadfast in her decision to move on. She wasn't seeking new love. She wasn't seeking a new marriage. She was seeking herself. But as she reconnected with her former sister wife, Mary Brown, old questions began to surface. Mary, having formally obtained a church release to end her spiritual union with Kody, described the closure and clarity the process had given her. Listening to Mary, Janelle realized something she hadn't admitted to herself yet. Maybe she wasn't as fully free as she believed. The conversation that changed everything. In a quiet conversation under the sprawling skies of Coyote Pass, Mary and Janelle spoke honestly. "It didn't even occur to me because I'm really not part of that church anymore," Janelle admitted, staring out at the land that once symbolized a shared dream now faded. But when Mary got one, I thought, huh. For the first time in a long time, Janelle allowed herself to acknowledge the deeper ties still binding her to Kody. Not through love, not through longing, but through history. 30 years of marriage, 30 years of shared life, could not be erased simply by packing a bag or moving across the country. "I'm not dating," Janelle said softly. "But if I found somebody, I would never want there to be like a weird barrier in my head. I've been married for 30 years, and it had validity for me. I don't have to live plural marriage again. I don't even know if I'll marry again, but I've kept my faith. All of it's intact, except for that whole plural marriage thing. I don't know about that." The thought was both freeing and frightening. If she truly wanted to open her heart to the possibility of a new future, free of emotional entanglements, free of unfinished business, maybe she needed to take that one final step. Maybe she needed closure. The question of a spiritual release. "So just so that I'm sure I'm good," Janelle said, her voice steady but questioning, "if I were to remarry, maybe it's worth getting a spiritual divorce." Mary nodded, offering support without pressure. If Janelle wanted, Mary would walk beside her in the process, not just as a friend, but as someone who understood the emotional weight of saying goodbye truly and fully. It wasn't about Kody anymore. It was about Janelle, her peace, her healing, and her future. Kody sighed and the fan response. Meanwhile, Kody had his own version of events. In recent episodes, Kody claimed that Janelle viewed him more as a companion than a husband in their later years, a comment that drew laughter and eye rolls from fans of sister wives. So now he claims he's been used for his body. One fan quipped, "Oh yeah, she wanted him so much that she left Flagstaff like a thief in the night," another joked. Despite the humor, the sentiment was serious. Many viewers felt that Janelle deserved far better, and they celebrated her strength in stepping away. "The best thing that came from Kody is the children," one fan wrote. "I'm so glad the three women found their happiness." Indeed, Janelle's journey has become a beacon for viewers, a reminder that it's never too late to choose yourself. What comes next for Janelle Brown? Whether or not Janelle chooses to formally obtain a spiritual release, one thing is clear: she is writing her own story now. A story rooted not in the expectations of others, but in her own truth. She has built a life of love around her children and grandchildren. She has found strength in solitude. She has discovered peace and possibility. As she stands on the precipice of a new chapter, perhaps the most powerful realization is this: she was never really lost. She was simply growing, shedding the roles and expectations that no longer served her, and stepping into a future that is hers alone. Will Janelle officially let go of her spiritual marriage to Kody? Only time will tell. But whatever choice she makes, it will be made from a place of clarity, courage, and grace. And that, more than anything, is the love story she deserves.